Hello, it is Saturday, April 29th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Saturday puzzle today, which means it may well be the most difficult puzzle of the week, and that is an ominous thought because I thought yesterday's puzzle, the Friday crossword, was pretty difficult. I wonder if you did as well, and I wonder how we'll find today's second of two themeless puzzles for the week, the Saturday puzzle. We'll just have to find out. This ominous edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Alan Blunder, Mitchell Turek, Jenny Montague, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark and the indomitable Showmaster. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They are supporting this channel, keeping this whole thing going, making it a sustainable enterprise for me, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much to those benefactors, and to you if you are a patron of the channel. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to become a patron of the channel and help directly support this series, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video, where you can receive all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. That includes yesterday's mini puzzle speed solve, weekly mini puzzle pseudo speed solve, the Bossword Spring Themeless League challenge puzzles that have gone up recently, with another to be scheduled to be posted tomorrow, and everything else that's gone up on there recently. So enjoy those if you're a patron. And of course, as a benefactor, you can get access to the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug as well. All right. Do subscribe to the channel if you've not gotten around to it yet on YouTube, and you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link in the description field to that friendly chat community. All right, let's get on to today's crossword. This is a construction by David Steinberg, who has constructed, I think, well over 100, maybe even close to 200 puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So we're dealing with an experienced constructor here. What sort of challenge will he give us? Let's find out. We'll start solving now. Voyage group. Could be the ABBA. Could be the ABBA song. Let's see. One of three in many baseball fields. Three in many baseball fields, but not all baseball fields. Acre? 3 acres, maybe? No idea. I mean, I'm just guessing there, but it seems plausible. Let's put ABBA in here. Social climber. Social climber, question mark. Question mark. What's the question mark doing there? An ant? I don't know. They're sort of, they live in societies, they're social, and they climb up things. I don't know. Respond quickly as to criticism with back. Clap back. Social climber. What is this? Oh, an ape. Oh, right. Okay, well, there are even more social animals, and they climb trees and things. Like many a troll. Rude, I suppose. An online troll is rude, or a troll in mythology, or folklore, more accurately, is rude. 2009 hit with the lyric, "I want your love and I want your revenge." Oh, I can sort of hear this in my mind. This is a Lady Gaga song? Bad. I don't know. Bad Romance. There we go. I'm not so out of touch sometimes. I usually am. Speak too soon. Say, to err, to make a mistake, to speak too soon. Let slip. Blurt. You could blurt something out. No. Oh, but let is a classic bit of some possibly inadvertent, but surely sometimes intentional misdirection, which is that it can be used in present or past, and in this case past, so blurt it out. You let something slip yesterday. Put on muscle. You toned up, worked out. Hit 2022 sci-fi horror film Nope, the Jordan Peele film, which I very much enjoyed. Not so hot wheels. A lemon. So wheels being used to refer to a vehicle, a singular vehicle, and it's not so hot. It's a bit of a junker. It's a lemon. Blank Beauty, brand founded by Rihanna. I learned this from the crossword. Fendi Beauty, which is Rihanna's surname, I think, or one of her names. Demonstrate flexibility. You could adapt. Oh, maybe it's not Fendi. Maybe it's Fenty. Sorry about that. Because to demonstrate flexibility is to adapt. Let's see. Baby animal that rhymes with its father. Baby animal that rhymes with its father. Not sure. Line at a luxury boutique is... I don't know. Pro whose home stadium features a life-size pirate ship. Well, I don't think I've ever seen this, but it must be the Buccaneers. And, oh, lamb rhymes with ram, of course. Sorry, okay. There we go. So line at a luxury boutique. Oh, maybe this is Fenty with a Y. There we go. I think I finally spelled this correctly, because the line at a luxury boutique could be maybe money is no object or something. If you're a wealthy prospective buyer and you're saying money is no object, I want the, I don't know, the best one, whatever it is you're buying. Assuming you're right, if so, and domain of the Norse god Njord. Oh, I don't know. The sky? Something hidden that's unpleasant to discover. Not sure. Part of a window, the sash of a window. And, oh, the sea, maybe, is the domain of the Norse god Njord. Why do I not see what this is? A fee, a hidden fee. Right, okay, I wasn't thinking about on that sort of direction at all, but I think that must be the answer. All right. Big post-game celebration. A something party? That sounds lovely. Please do? Doesn't fit. Group with special airport lounges. Oh, the USO, which is a organization for overseas service members in the military. And you sometimes see those in airports, the USO lounges. Okay, philosophy associated with beaches. Surf something? Blank spot. 10 spot? $10 bill? Nudism, maybe? Is that a philosophy? It sort of seems like you could consider it a philosophy. Certainly a mode of living. Salmon, for instance. A shade of red in this case. A color, F words. Oh, see me. This is a classic. This used to come up in the crossword not infrequently. This phrase, see me, which refers to what a teacher might write on a paper or exam that they graded poorly, indicating that the student should stay after class, that kind of thing. Stuff in a special bag. And a word on a Spanish name tag. Hola for hello. Sometimes hello is written on name tags. Sailmaker's tools, awls maybe for putting holes in the sails for grommets or something like that. A cry of amazement. Oh, wowie zowie is a cry of amazement. A slightly dated one, but there we go. Stuff in a special bag. Oh, swag maybe. A swag bag is sort of giveaway things you get at some kind of event, a convention or an expo or something. Outwardly very happy. You're all smiles. You're outwardly very happy. Something typically read outdoors. A gas meter. That's, yeah. If you need to take a reading of how much gas you've used in the last month to report to your utility company. I just did that yesterday. All right. One sees the light every so often. One sees the light every so often. A mole? They come up above ground, or a vole? I'm not sure. I mean, it seems it's plausible, but I feel like I'm not certain enough just yet. So the big post-game celebration, a shower? Oh, a Gatorade shower or champagne shower? Sort of pouring champagne over the, I don't know, coach or maybe important player or something. There we go. I think that's what that is. And then sometimes you see that with Gatorade as well. Dwellers at the tops of mesas. Hopis, the tribe maybe. Seems fairly plausible. Let's see. That sounds lovely. How nice, you might say. Blank hours, the wee hours, very early in the morning, say 2 or 3 a.m. maybe. Hybrid vehicle could be a moped. Oops. And that would make mole the case for one sees the light every so often. And then, so a moped is sort of little scooter. And then fair in a way. Bland, fair. Wondering if it means bland in the sense of sort of so-so fair. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's right. Subject of a much anticipated return in 1983 would be Return of the Jedi, the third Star Wars film. And they have small bulbs. Does it end in S? Popular shopping site. It might, because this could be Etsy, which I would wager to say is almost the official online retailer, the official e-tailer in the sort of e-word vernacular that the New York Times often references. Anyway, it could be the official e-tailer of the New York Times. It comes up surprisingly frequently. Metaphorical whole. One, as in we are one, we are a metaphorical whole. Could be. Not certain about it. Let's check some crosses. Game with paddles. And it requires you to pick up the pieces fast. Not sure. I'm not quite seeing those immediately, so I'll just delete that for now. But it might be the answer. What about this G? Understood. If you understood something, you got it. And to court somebody romantically is to woo them. Like violas and English horns, alto instruments. So that seems plausible. Alto is it's most often associated with singers, a vocal range, but you have an alto saxophone as well. You could have various instruments in an alto range. So let's see. Blubber is to bawl, to weep, or to sort of cry or sob. Maybe that's more accurate than weep. And then part of a natural border, maybe. I assume this means a geological feature, but maybe not. I'm not sure. 18, see 22 across, and 22 says, with 18 across, colonial-style houses, question mark? That question mark means we're not referring to sort of colonial architecture of an ordinary house. I think we're referring to an ant colony and that's what the colonial is doing there. The question mark indicating a bit of punnery or wordplay. So ant farms, maybe. There we go. And a mass could be a wad of material. I'm so enjoying this. What a blast, maybe, or something. It could be something similar to that, but what a is probably right. Oh, natural border may be a shrub. So maybe natural border between plots of land or something? I'm not... Maybe I was thinking natural border meaning naturally occurring, but maybe it means a border that's intentional. You planted it, but of sort of made of nature in a way, if you see what I mean. Carnival refreshment flavored with syrup. Shaved ice. I was going to say shave ice, which is, I think, often what it's called, but shaved ice as well. Lab group, you could have lab rats. And Blank Rain, WWE wrestler who's the daughter of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know, but it certainly looks like Eva or Ava. Target for a certain mallet. Cranium? I don't know. Back in a way. Began or reran or back. I'm not sure. Bank figure. Could be bank as in a financial institution, or bank as in a river bank, or bank as in rely on somebody, bank on them. Don't know what bank figure would mean in that context. Not sure. Don't get caught in them. Let's put the S here probably. Don't get caught in them. The exclamation point, what this often means is we're making a statement about the answer. We're commenting on the answer rather than defining it or serving as a synonym for it. And in this case, so you could say, don't get caught in them. Don't get caught in lies. Don't get caught in a lie. Don't get found out. So that could be the answer. I mean, it fits. So I'm so enjoying this. What a blast would no longer work if indeed this is lies. It could be something else. I mean, don't get caught in traps, a trap, for instance, but that wouldn't, the S would make it too long. Relatively cool place. Major export from Brazil. And sprinkles on, e.g. Sprinkles on. Dues? I don't know, I'm not quite seeing this. Subject in experimental psychology. ESP, maybe? Experimental psychology, sort of speculative, extrasensory perception. I'm wondering if that's what that is. Game with paddles. Oh, is this pickleball a thing that has become enormously popular, seemingly overnight, and I really have no idea what it actually is. But I know people absolutely love it. Anyway, I'm wondering if that's what this is, because I think it involves some sort of... I think it maybe involves a kind of ball with a kind of a wiffle ball style perforated ball, and I would imagine you'd use a paddle for that. Anyway, metaphorical hole. Oh, the pie. That's funny. So didn't we have metaphorical hole somewhere else with one? I think we did. Or was that this one and I replaced it? I honestly can't even remember. I think we had metaphorical hole somewhere else. Sorry, I'm completely blind, apparently. Well, I don't know. I think it was in there. I can't think where. Anyway, here's another case, a pie. I'm going to share the pie. It requires you to pick up the pieces fast. And they have small bulbs. Leeks have small bulbs in terms of root vegetables. They don't bulge out in the same way that many do, to the same extent. Funny you should say that, oddly enough. Funny you should say that. Oh, and fair was not bland, it was blonde, right? That makes much more sense. It's a much better fit, because you could have blonde hair or fair hair. Speed requires you to pick up the pieces fast. Speed chess. Oh, right, okay. Sure, fair enough. You have to literally move the chess pieces quickly in speed chess because you're on a timer. And HBO Max is a streaming service, although I think the incredibly rapid degree of sort of churn in the world of streaming services means I think this clue is already outdated, because I think this service is not even called this anymore. I think it's now called simply Max. Dealing with some sort of merger. I think HBO and the Discovery Channel are merged, and now it's just Max. Anyway, blank balls, decadent dessert. Oreo balls? Is that a thing? I'm going to that immediately because of the New York Times crosswords penchant for Oreo as a clue. So I'm not familiar with Oreo balls, if indeed they exist, but if they do, it wouldn't surprise me because, well, it wouldn't surprise me that it's an answer in this crossword, because Oreo is an old standby. And there was a thing that I sort of believed for a while, and I repeated this on the video, but I can't find any clear citation for it, which was, I was under the impression if you clue Oreo in the puzzle, it must be with a clue that has not been previously used in the New York Times crossword. But some viewers have found cases where clues have indeed been repeated, so I don't know where I got that. Anyway, stomach. If you stomach something, you bear it, you sort of abide it. And a place from which to send a message in a bottle could be an aisle, maybe a sort of SOS message. Dating app info could be your bio, a little bit of biographical information about yourself. And 2017 Tony-winning character, sorry, I can't seem to read. 2017 Tony-winning play whose main characters are diplomats. It must be Oslo, which I've not seen, but that must be the answer. And then now we just need to finish off this bit of the grid up here. Bank figure. Some kind of rate? CD rate. A cash deposit rate, maybe? A sort of percentage interest, percentage of return on your deposit. I'm so enjoying this. Oh, what a dream, maybe. Okay. Wouldn't have thought of that offhand without the crosses, but fortunately we had the crosses. Back in a way. Is this true? Maybe it's what a treat. Back in a way. I'm just trying to come up with something here where that would allow this to work. Well, the A is probably correct. Major export from Brazil. Acai. Oh, is it acai? Is it the official berry of the New York Times crossword? I bet it is. All right. And then sprinkles on relatively cool. Oh, an oasis could be a relatively cool place in a desert. And sprinkles on sets or wets. Sprinkles on wets as in sort of sprinkles on drops of water. Target for a certain mallet. What is going on here? So this is either an E or an A. Crab? Oh, crab claw. Yes. Okay. A mallet is one of the instruments you could use to get the meat out of a crab. So crab claw, bet on. You back. I'm going to back the winning horse. I'm going to bet on the winning horse. You could say, and then sprinkles on is wets. Okay. So it sprinkles on the grass, wets the grass, if you see what I mean. And so does that work? Yes. Okay, well, I certainly found this a less challenging puzzle than yesterday's. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything in particular. I did see, actually, I think a couple of people in the Daily Solve Discord chat server who seemed like they maybe found Friday's puzzle a bit smoother after they got past some particularly difficult areas of the grid. So, as we know, that kind of thing is incredibly specific to each individual solver. And in my case, I found this puzzle a bit more approachable than I did yesterday's. So, yeah, do let me know how you got on with those two, either independently or relative to one another in the comments or the Discord or wherever. Well, I am always curious to know. And in any case, that was the crossword there. We had some nice central answers. I always enjoy these big grid spanning answers. Champagne shower and money is no object. I wonder if either of these has appeared in a crossword before. I wouldn't be surprised if champagne shower were a debut, but I have no basis on which to say that. It's an interesting enough phrase that it wouldn't shock me if it were a debut placement. But I'm not sure. In any case, and wowie zowie, who knows? Anyway, that was the crossword. Really enjoyed that one. And now, let's discuss a few clues and comments from yesterday's puzzle. So, what do we have? Let's see. Oh, well, here's a question from Rabbit who asks, what helps you keep your cool when you hit a tough section in a puzzle? Even when expressing frustration, you're able to keep your composure and push through. Any tips on getting past roadblocks like that? This is also an open question to other commenters if you'd like to share your puzzles and secrets. Yes, please do share your responses to that in the comments. I think, well, this isn't exactly how I tackle the puzzle on video, but it's what I would definitely recommend if you're solving a puzzle on your own. And it's how I used to solve the crossword before I started doing these videos, is just skip something if you don't know what it is and come back to it, because the more crosses you have, the easier it will be. So if I'm solving a puzzle quickly on my own, I'll skip almost everything that I don't immediately see. I'll just put in the things that I get right off the bat. Maybe that's not an exact answer to your question. How do you sort of maintain your composure when frustrated? But I suppose part of what I mean is that if you go for all the low-hanging fruit immediately, you're putting yourself you're spending less time in the situation in which you're sitting there trying to kind of bash your head against an answer that you simply don't know. And I put myself sort of in, I don't know if it's intentionally or what, but it seems to be my instinct when I'm solving on video is I try to think through an answer a bit before moving on, with more intention and resilience than I would if I were simply solving on my own. So that's my first answer is just that what you're seeing on the video is slightly different to what my actual solving pattern would be if not for the video. With respect generally to keeping your composure, I would say this is another thing that's specific to solving these on video. Again, if I weren't solving these on video, I wouldn't feel compelled to solve the entire crossword in one uninterrupted go, in one session. I might put it down for a bit, come back later, not with any particular intention, but just because there's no reason you need to solve any given crossword straight through without stopping like I do on the video. I just do it on the video because obviously I'm doing it for this particular purpose. But I would say certainly a way to reduce frustration is just to pick it up when you have a moment and your brain might. It's true with many things. I mean, I think people say this about creative tasks, about problem solving, about all sorts of things. If you simply walk away from something difficult and come back to it later, there's no guarantee that you'll immediately know what it is, but your brain will probably be in a slightly different state, and you might it might serve you well. So those are the two things I would recommend: is try and find the low-hanging fruit first, and don't feel compelled to simply sit there at the puzzle and bang your head against it. Walk away and come back when you have some more time later, and you might the intervening time might have done you some good. But I would be more than happy to hear anybody else's tips on this. So let's see what else. Brian Spurrier has a few rapid-fire comments from yesterday's puzzle. Ach in German translates to many interjections in English, like o or ah, not adding much to a sentence directly, but conveying emotion. And so that's interesting. What was the clue? And now I can't remember. It was something like no more or something like that. Should have looked this up ahead of time. In any case, it's an interesting general observation about German. The three books of the Hebrew Tanakh, the Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, the word Tanakh is also an acronym of these names, mean law, prophets, and writings, respectively. Oh, right. And yesterday we had the Torah as a synonym for law. It was in the puzzle. And finally, Brian points out, an atoll is a ring-shaped coral island that encloses a lagoon. And that was around the clever clue dealing with coral composition, I think was what it was. Very clever. Finally, Stacey Springer with a few details on Winona LaDuke, who ran as the Green Party vice presidential candidate with Ralph Nader in 1996 and 2000. She is also well known for her activism on behalf of Indigenous rights as a member of the Ojibwe Nation. So thank you for that information as well. All right, and that's all I have from yesterday's puzzle. Thank you if you left a comment, and thank you to you for watching to the end of the video. I'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday puzzle, a large themed grid. So do come back and join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.